is everything in life. Whether it's time to buy or time to sell, it's never an easy decision to know if the timing is right. So in this live feed, I want to talk about, is it the wrong time to buy? Because as I currently make this video, prices for homes, for vehicles, for various goods are high. And inflation, which is the cost of things, goods, services, etc., is rising. And it's government policy to continue to keep interest rates low, to try to keep a recovery at least till 2023, because we have a lot of people still unemployed with the coronavirus. And even though the vaccine was announced earlier this week, by the time you get enough people vaccinated and you get some of the population through herd immunity, through getting the virus and then getting the antibodies naturally, you're looking at probably about a year and a half or so. So the question becomes, right, because no one knows the future. When it comes to the question, is it now the time to buy? What you're trying to do is look into the future and say, will the future be a better time to buy? And no one truly knows the future, no matter how smart, no matter how well studied, because it's impossible to predict. I mean, a year ago, in 2019, in December, right before Christmas, would you have predicted, okay, that a global pandemic would shut down countries, that you would have tens of millions of people unemployed, that the president of the United States would get sick and sent to the hospital, there would be riots, there would be so much upheaval in society? But yet at the end of the year, the stock market would be at the all-time high, house prices would be at the all-time high, RV prices, car prices, all high. If you were waiting for a better time to buy last year, you would have thought this was the year. But this is the worst year to buy to date because prices are all-time high. So it's an interesting dynamic, because I've heard for years, living as a nomad, especially people you meet online, living the nomadic life, or people who are preppers, who live in very much a state of paranoia. Sometimes it's good to be a little bit paranoid. And I would say, I definitely understand the mindset, but also you're waiting for something and it never happens. And that's not a good mindset either. There was people that were predicting we would be in a nuclear war already with North Korea. Even some of the people, there was this one girl troll I had from Oregon. Okay. She had a child. I think she abandoned her child. And she was predicting that this was the end of the world. And now she's going around telling people how great it is to travel. So people who tell you they know the future, they may be them, out there in another dimension, And I try not to get mad at them, because I realize they're struggling with their own thing. We're all struggling with our own thoughts sometimes. But it makes you resentful of people who you listen to a little bit. And, even me, look, guys, what I could tell you is, I always tell you, don't take anyone's advice, including my own, when it comes to investments. Okay? And I always tell you, the best advice I can give, and you don't have to take this, is keep a steady job, keep side hustles, get your savings account, pay off your debt, and then do whatever you want. Okay? It's pretty much been consistent. Because I don't know. But I know this, that it's only time to buy when it makes practical sense for you. From a budgeting standpoint, it's below your means. It's not too much risk. It's always risk. Anytime you buy anything, a stock, a house, a car, there's risk. And you have to take risk in life, or else you do nothing. You stay in the backyard of the house you grew up with and you've never changed or whatever. So, but at the same time, as you get older, you have taken risk and you have failed, and you have to realize that you don't take every risk, and you need to have a level of mitigation to, mitigate the risk. And so when you are slow to buy, not rushing to buy, that's a good start. It's the wrong time to buy anytime you're rushing in a frenzy. I had a great viewer, and I think about these viewers because, impact. They impact you to form these relationships online. At least I do as a creator. I answer every comment, whether on the live feed or in my comment section. And I had this one great viewer. She watched me for a while. And like every relationship, we had a fallout. But she was in a rush to buy during the pandemic or whatever, or right before. And then as soon as she bought it, she was like, it's above her means. And I was like, well, didn't you know it was above your means before you bought it? What changed in 2 months? Because, the coronavirus, right? So I don't say that to shame her. I say that I understand what it is when you go on a car lot or when you go in a house and it's very appealing. And so you figure, I got to buy now, because it is true. You're going to miss out on some opportunities if you don't strike quick. But it's also true that if you don't remember your past mistakes when it comes to rushing and buying, you're going to live the rest of your life in fear, in paranoia, on the hook financially. And it's very hard. It's not very hard to live a decent life as far as having enough clothes, having enough food, having shelter in a first world country. It's very easy. You can do nothing. You can do nothing and you're never going to starve to death in a first world country. You could do nothing and there's always going to be a shelter. Now, these things may not be luxury. They may not be what you want. You may not have coconut shrimp every night. But you have to have in the back of your mind that, look, I know people that do nothing and they're not dying. But if you want to do more than nothing, and if you want to try to live your best life and you try to be above average, I'll often talk about there's an average, there's average price of something. There's a average height. There's that, but there's also below average and there's also above average. So, and there's also unfulfilled potential. Like I remember being in school, and there was times I'd get on my, report card or whatever, has potential but doesn't show enough effort. Okay. Many people are like that. They have the potential, but they don't put enough effort. And I did that. I'm sharing with you. So as you get older, what I've realized is I want to put effort into the things that matter to me. I want to live above average, not with regards to living in luxury. I've tried that. With regards to living as free as possible in the world we live. And what I've learned is that's not easy. Okay. Oh, it's very easy to even have a decent job, I would say, if you put a little effort into your life, get enough experience, and then, even buy a new car and then even buy a house. But then it's like you're just going to be in the 80% of people living paycheck to paycheck, or, just having a couple $1,000s and, that. But I mean, it's interesting. I've talked to some people online. Look, tens of thousands of dollars in savings. Man, a lot of people have a lot of money in savings. And if inflation goes up to 4% a year, it's not even that you're being wise keeping all that in savings. Even I worry about that, because it's like it's losing money. It's not in the stock market that's going up. It's not in real estate that's going up. It's in a savings account that's doing nothing. So inflation is eating away your security blanket. So you're getting screwed. And so, should you rush to buy? Well, don't rush to do anything. I don't know if I'm right in saying this, so I want to be honest. But in my opinion, I rather take my odds with having inflation hurt my savings than rushing to buy something and hoping I make the right decision. Yeah, it's logic and emotion. This is what you have to look when it's time to buy. You have to look at the logical numbers, count the cost. There's a scripture that says before you do something, before you build something, you should calculate the cost, or else you would get to the end and you wouldn't have enough to finish and you would look foolish. And so you have to run the numbers, not just your pre-approval letter that your banker's running, but you. And then you have to figure out what type of lifestyle do you want to live. Do you want to be in fear of going to Starbucks because you can't afford to, because if you have a big house or something? That's a real thing. Some people, like, and I've been there, they're house poor, okay, or they're car poor or whatever. So at the same time, okay, I'm living in a car, okay, and I don't think that's too attractive. Not that I care what people think, but I want to be honest with you. I don't think that's the answer. Why am I doing it? Because I haven't found something that has come across my way and it's the right time to buy for me. See, a little bit of life, a lot of life as you're an adult, it's individual. Okay. What appeals to you may not appeal to me. And what appeals to me may not appeal to you. That's some emotion. So statistically, you're looking at the logic, then you're looking at the emotion. A house or a vehicle or whatever, what inspires you, what speaks to your emotions, without ignoring the numbers. It's the right time to buy, look, when you've done the research on the numbers and you get inspired by looking at something. But always look at things through various perspectives. Like I say, if you're going to buy a house, go there during the day, go in the afternoon, go late at night, go on the weekend, go during rush hour, etc. Because there's different perspectives at different times. You're going to buy a car, don't just look at it on the lot when it's all washed up and it's clean and it's under the lights. Think about, is it practical? Are you going to be spilling coffee in that car? Are you going to be driving long trips? Are you going to be putting a beating on that car? What are you going to do with that car in your everyday life, not just how you see it on the lot? What I've learned in living in my car for 4 years and not having anything really other than a bag of clothes is that we don't need to buy much. We don't. We can, especially, like if we have money and we earned it, there's nothing wrong with it. I think even now I struggle, want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. I enjoy the fruits of my labor now by, at Liberty, eating out, having as much Starbucks as I want, or as much, having a coconut shrimp at the store or whatever. But it's the wrong time to buy when you're rushing, when you don't know the numbers, when you haven't looked at various perspectives, and when you haven't looked at your exit strategy. If it goes wrong, how do you get out of it? See, look, if you buy the wrong thing on Amazon, how do you get out of it? You return it. If you buy the wrong car, how do you get out of it? Well, you're probably going to take a few $1,000 hit if you have to trade it back in, because it depreciates very quick. Now, if you bought a house, how do you get out of it? Well, it's an interesting thing that now if you bought a house and you went to sell it a month later, you may actually make money because inflation's so high. But can you guarantee that'll be like that a year from now? There's no guarantees of the future. See, when you're analyzing what to buy, you're analyzing trying to predict the future. And that's a little bit of a mistake. Why? Because I think you should give some thought to the future, but no one knows it. So your future is, you're an average human. And the average human lives 80 years. So what you're trying to figure out is, for however old you are and however many years you have left to average life expectancy, how do you want to live? Sometimes I say to myself, when I default not buying, because I always by default, if I'm unsure, I don't buy, because I don't need to. Sometimes I may miss out on a little bit of an opportunity. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a couple of home bases I said, wow, maybe I should have pulled the trigger. They're actually worth more now than they were a year ago. So, but I got to be honest, I also wasn't ready mentally and emotionally as I was a year ago. I wasn't. And I know that because I felt that. You know that. Hal, a lot of people buy things for other people, especially when you're young. I did that. And that's part of life. I want to encourage you that if you're young, don't shame yourself for buying a nice car, buying nice things, because I did it. And I think people have to experience it because that's life. I think it's unwise to say for a young person, don't ever be young, because it's like, then you're not living life. But let's continue to read your comment. He goes, they also have huge weddings for their friends. When at the end of the day, no one cares. Someone will always hate the chicken and the DJ. Well, that's true. Good comment, brother. Good to see you, Hal. I believe in you, brother. Coconuts, what's up, brother? Coconuts, I get to you. I just want to talk about Hal's thing 1 second. I will say this. There's always exceptions. I have a good friend I still talk to, one of the rare friends I still talk to. He had a huge wedding in North Jersey, and I went to it, one of the few weddings I went to, and I actually had a great time. And he's actually a great guy, and he's still married. So there's always exceptions. You guys know I preach stay single. I preach do things, but I'm not going to say he's always happy, but I'm not going to say I'm always happy. I'm going to say I know a good friend who I still keep in touch with, who had a big wedding, who has nice things, who works hard, has worked steady 30 years, married a good woman, though, and they're still married. And I mean, I'm sure they have their ups and downs. So I want to bring balance to some of the times I say. I mean, but again, I would not want to live that life, but he would not want to live my life. So part of what you need to understand when you get ready to buy something is your personality. For me, I wouldn't do good to buy a stock and just sit there and watch it in the after hours and all. Or, for me, I'm an in and out guy. I'm not saying that's right, because I say you probably get hurt more doing it like me. But I have to do what's not just logically right, but emotionally right for me. So knowing yourself is the key to, being willing to take the risk, because anytime you buy something, there's risk. There's low risk though, right? If you buy something from the Dollar Tree and you don't like it. That's why a lot of people buy stuff from the Dollar Tree, because fuck it, it's $1. Fuck it, if it doesn't work, it's $1. You know what I mean? But if you buy a $200,000 house, it's not like, oh, fuck it. If you buy an $80,000 RV, it's not like it's fuck it. But you go to the Dollar Tree, you just throw a bunch of shit in the car, you say, fuck it, I'll just play around with it. You know what I mean? Because you got low risk. Coconuts. House prices will come down when interest rates start to rise again in a year or two. Now is the worst time to buy, but rent is also high now. Excellent comment. Yet Jay Powell, the Federal Reserve, says he doesn't plan on raising interest rates until 2023. Okay, that's about 2 years. But I will say this. 2 years ago, people were telling me, mainly online, mainly van dwellers and preppers, that housing is going to collapse in a couple years. Just wait. And if I would have bought a house 2 years ago, I would have made more money. I wasn't ready to buy, though, but I'm just trying to share with you. Last year, if I told you before, we would have had a pandemic, shut down the economy, riots, total upheaval. There's no way you would have told me Dow at 30,000, house prices all-time high. So now in 2 years, interest rates go up. Do house prices go down? Or do we still have a lot of unemployed? And do we still have to do stimulus? And do we still, maybe technology, some jobs never come back? I really do believe there's some jobs that are never coming back. Now, I still really do believe if you want a job and if you're willing to work, and if you go into a good industry like the medical industry, the IT industry, the trade industry, they don't have enough people to build houses right now, learn a trade. They don't have enough people to work in the medical field right now, getting there. IT, everyone's working remotely, getting there. Start low, build your way up. So while I do believe that some people working basic jobs that were already lower paying, like they got squeezed out, but that's an opportunity now to reinvent yourself. In life, if you don't reinvent yourself from an electrician to an IT tech, if you don't reinvent yourself from a restaurant waitress to a RN nurse, if you don't reinvent yourself, you're not buying yourself, you're selling yourself short. The number one book I recommend is Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. Why? It's all about you have to adapt because things change. People move the cheese in the maze of life. Now, do I think it's the wrong time to buy a house? Look, I would tend to say, yeah. However, just like I just stated, people said that 2 years ago. So I don't know. But what I know is when in doubt, keep it simple. When in doubt, know your budget. When in doubt, have an emergency fund. When in doubt, have little to no debt. And I do believe there's always an opportunity. Okay. Because even in these inflated times, I've done houses in the past 2 weeks of houses under 100,000 in nice areas. I've shown a house today for 39,000. Okay. You can buy that house, even with the HOA and taxes, your monthly payment would be less than $300 a month. That's in a gated community, not a subsidized community. However, it's a little bit in the country, 45 minutes away from the beach. But I just want to share with you, there's always opportunity. Damn. Oh my God, I'm stuttering my ass off. Dan Diamond, when I see that money, I get an orgasm, man. I don't know how to act, man. $4.99 super chat. I'm not in the strip club anymore. Well, it's never a good time to buy a stripper a drink, in my opinion, but I understand. I've been there. Saving my money and starting a tour guide job tomorrow. Well, there you go, brother. Anything's better than nothing. In St. Augustine. Okay, I've been to St. Augustine many times. St. Augustine, Florida is the oldest city in the United States of America. It has a little like fort right by the inlet. It has old churches, a college downtown or whatever. Now, obviously, tourism in Florida is lower right now because you don't have the Canadians and Europeans because of the coronavirus, but you still do have travelers. And when in doubt, do something. Why? Because you meet people, you get in a rhythm of waking up, and you build confidence. When you do nothing, you do the opposite. You don't meet people, you don't get in a rhythm of waking up, and you lose confidence. So the longer you stay out of the workforce, the longer you don't do anything, the longer you stay out of the gym. It's not even about work. It's about anything. A body in motion stays in motion. The longer you stay out of the gym, the harder it is to go back. It was very hard for me to get back in the gym after 6 months because the gyms were locked down in Jersey. Let's continue reading. He goes, he's going to be a guide job tomorrow in St. Augustine. You're going to be driving the little carts around. I've seen those. They have like jitney carts. And stripper is gone. I can't leave that. Yeah, you can't live that life, brother. Well, Dan Diamond, I know what it is. You're recovering from dating a stripper. And I think it's good that you experienced it, but I think you need to change your number. I think in a month from now, you're going to have a relapse. Why? Because with every addiction, with every breakup, there's always a relapse period. There's always a period where you think, well, it wasn't that bad. And I can tell you this, Dan Diamond, it was bad, brother. Okay, but I want to tell you this. You can do it. Okay, you've done plenty of things in your life, and you can do the tour guide job. And here's why it's wise to stay productive, especially when you're going through a breakup. Idle time, devil's playground. If you're idle, if you're not doing it, you're going to be thinking about that girl all day and night, and I understand that. So, brother, you're doing the right thing. Stay productive. I renovated half my house after a breakup. Why? Stay productive. And I hate renovations. Coconuts. How is the weather there? Are there a lot of people out and about? The weather in South Florida today was 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, tomorrow we have a cool front coming in. It's only going to be about 70 as the high. So the next few days are going to be between 70 and 75. And then next week we go back to close to 80. So that's why you want to come to South Florida, not St. Augustine. Why? Because St. Augustine is probably about 10 degrees colder than down here. So tomorrow it'll probably be about 60 degrees in St. Augustine. Well, you say Inspirational Nomad. I'm a fat chick who's got a skinny profile with bunny ears on my Instagram. St. Augustine don't sound bad because I don't want to sweat. I said, well, yeah, throw some baby powder in between your thunder thighs and move to St. Augustine. Why? It's not as hot. Okay. And don't forget to tip Dan Diamond. Why? Because Dan tipped the straight stripper. Okay. So Dan tipped the stripper. Don't forget to tip the tour guide. Okay. You say, I'm not tipping the tour guide. I'm a cheap psychopath. And I say, well, I understand. I do. But what I want to tell you is this, guys. Most people are not struggling, is it time to buy? Most people are struggling, they just got out of a breakup. Or they're going through a divorce. However, there are some people out there, they're thinking about buying. And they're struggling with that. Maybe they're not thinking about buying a house. They're thinking about, well, I missed the stock market run. Is it time to get in now? I don't know. Some people asked me that during the coronavirus. They said, Dow's at 20,000, 18,000. Should I buy? I don't know, because you don't know what's going to happen. Now, the Federal Reserve came in. They backed the bond market. That shit went right back up. Coconuts. West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Delray, or Boca. Which one has the most singles? Fort Lauderdale. West Palm Beach has some bad areas. And they're people, and the nice areas are people who wanted to live close to Mar-a-Lago, but West Palm Beach is not Mar-a-Lago. Fort Lauderdale is for tourists and partying, and a couple Canadians that think they're Donald Trump, but they're not Donald Trump. They only own one condo, and it's not that nice by the beach. Boca is for old people who made a lot of money, They were attorney or in the medical field doctor, and now they're snotty as hell and they want to live in luxury. Delray is for people who like to wine and dine, go out to the restaurant. So Fort Lauderdale, Delray, the most singles, because that's the tourism party things. West Palm and Boca are more residential, etc. So that would answer that question. But it's very congested in all those areas, so you got to be mindful of that. What I can tell you is this: if you've never visited an area, don't buy. Why? Guys, big difference between looking at Boca Raton online and going to Boca Raton. And so it's a big difference dating a chick. You see her Instagram profile, you say, oh shit, this shit look good. And then you go see her in real life, you say, is that you? So even me, guys, like I got a wide ass, okay? A lot of the women, they dream about getting with me, okay? And so, look, yeah, it's different in real life versus reality. How catfish, yeah. I've been catfished a few times, man. And what I can tell you is this. I don't like catfish. Not the real catfish and not the online catfish. Why? I like salmon and coconut shrimp, okay? And so shout out to you, shout out to Coconut Dream, shout out to Dan Diamond. Yeah, guys, look, should you buy the index fund? Should you buy a house? No. Why? Not unless you have a good savings account, no debt, and you're ready and you visited before. Coconuts, $3 super chat. Damn it, brother, I'm working as hard as I can. But when in doubt, just show up and smile and stay out of trouble. Thank you, Coconuts, for that super chat, super sticker. You say, Inspirational Nomad, I want to hear some magical thing tonight. I'm looking for answers. I have people like that, like they would only go to church when they're really struggling and they needed the pastor to hit them up something good. And what I can tell you is this, guys. What I tell you in every live feed is something I'm thinking about, and I just try to stick to the basics of what I want to express. And at the worst, I showed up. Okay. And that's how you should look at everything in life. Okay. Don't sell yourself short. Don't think about what to buy and then sell yourself short. Buy yourself, improve yourself, and everything else is just cherry on the top. Congrats. With low interest rates and all this stimulus, inflation out the wazoo, and the market should keep going up. It should. It should. Okay. But, look, guys, you should tip the waitress. Not everyone does it. You should not date a stripper. Ask Dan Diamond how that went. But I don't know, man. It's scary because it's like, I remember in 2005 that everyone told me, including my mom, including my pastor. I remember in the early 2000s, my pastor was telling people to take out a home equity loan. Like he said, that's your money. And I remember even my mom, she said, look, Sam, real estate always goes up. Now, do I think we're going to be another housing crisis? I don't think we'll ever be at that, because I think the Federal Reserve learned that they can just do whatever they want and print as much money. But here's the wild card. If China or another country, they decide to sell all our bonds, and if there's a financial upheaval globally beyond the Federal Reserve, that could, but who can predict that? No one. So bottom line is each year we're getting older. So if you want to buy the index fund, like my man, Big Plan Dan, he bought the index fund. He's retiring great right now. I got out of the index funds at 18,000. So I would have doubled my money if I would have left them in. Okay. Just remember, when it comes to buying stocks, you never make money until you sell them. Okay. And same thing with a house. You never make money on a house till you sell it. So, and if you sell your house in up economy, what are you going to buy? Because everything else is high. If you sell your stock all the way up, what are you going to buy? Now, my man, Challenger the Welder, he sold Workhorse stock. He bought, I don't know, BFT or something. That's always the struggle. When's it time to sell? When's it time to buy? Tough question. Coconuts. I love a woman that can dance. Well, brother, you a sex addict, man. You like any woman that look halfway decent. I see you ask every girl that come in here, what's her Instagram? I see you, man. So I saw you last night. I think that was you. After I ended the live feed, I saw you in the live chat talking about you got an Instagram. He was talking to ESP. ESP's in Alaska, freezing her coochie off. She ain't got time to date, man. How? I want to learn about buying stocks. Well, You're going to lose a lot of money, man, because that's part of the game. General wisdom, get a savings account, get a steady job, pay down debt, and then do the index funds. And then if you want to do individual stocks, that's after years of building up enough money that you can deal with the loss. But I understand the desire. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just going to try to tell everyone, do things in order. But to each their own, look, everyone's got to live their life. Coconuts, house prices are very high. It's out the wazoo. It's hard to buy these levels, guys. Hard to buy the stocks, hard to buy the houses. Everything's so high. But what does someone do, buy or rent? Why? Well, they nomad. Because, for me, the renting is flexibility. Nomad's flexibility. Buying is a long-term commitment. Okay. Now, eventually, if you're going to rent in the same area for a long period of time, then yeah, you got to buy because it doesn't make sense. But if you're not in the area you want to live, don't buy. I want to say that again. If you're in upstate New York, Mark, I got a viewer, Mark from upstate New York. He did a video today, a snowstorm, total disaster. Guys, people in upstate New York and in Boston, they got like 2 feet of snow. Okay. So one is, you say, oh, I found a great house in Albany, New York. Shout out to Emoji Meme. And the interest rates are at 1%. Should I buy this beautiful house? Hell no. Unless you want to live in upstate New York. Never buy where you don't want to live. Anything you buy in life should only complement a lifestyle that you want. As an example, when you go in the store and you buy a piece of clothing, you usually buy a piece of clothing, including the color, including the way it fits on your body, to complement your physical body and your skin tone. So when you buy a house or you buy a car, it should complement your financial condition first, not your cosmetics, or financial condition below your means. And it should complement where you want to live. Like, if I buy a home base, okay, in my mind, I know mentally I don't like sheetrock, I don't like painting, I don't like plumbing, I don't like maintenance. I only like a piece of concrete I can put an RV on, and if the RV gets junky, I can tow it off. Now, that won't appreciate in value as much as a single-family home. A single-family home makes more financial sense to buy than an RV lot. But that's logically. Now, emotionally, a single-family house, unless it's a special unicorn house, it doesn't appeal to me because I know what it brings. Coconuts. It's hard to buy something when you are single. I think it's easy. He goes, couples have it easier when buying to pay bills. Not in my opinion. If you're single with no kids, even if you're unemployed and you dead broke, I think you're winning. Why? In my opinion, that guys, all you got to do is get a basic job, start working steady, and you're right back in the game. When you go through a divorce or when you got 3 kids, you got a wife, guys, yeah, you're splitting the bills, but you're splitting you're tripling the cost, So even if you could split the bills with someone and you triple the cost and you have to deal with them emotionally, like you like a RV lot, they like a single family house. They like a duplex, you like a ranch. They like a Toyota RAV4, you like a Lamborghini. So who decides? Well, whoever's got the coochie. Ask my man Dan Diamond. Coconuts. FDA endorses Moderna vaccine tonight. Yeah, I saw some chick I follow on Instagram. She was recommending the Moderna stock. Guys, we're in an inflated bubble out the wazoo, man. Now, see, that's why I tell you Fort Lauderdale. Why, Coconuts? Because she's from Fort Lauderdale, Dominican chick. She follows my channel. I don't know if she ever leaves a comment. So what I can tell you is this, Coconuts. If you really want to meet the singles, you got to go Fort Lauderdale, brother. Big Plan Dan, what's up, brother? He's about to break it down. He goes, in regards to stocks, it is difficult to compete in a market where there are full-time professionals. Yeah, if you're going to do individual stocks, very challenging. After making some bad stock picks, I've stuck to mutual funds for my IRAs. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, brother. Yeah. Look, and he's probably done very well. Why? Because mutual funds and index funds, things of that nature, they basically just follow the general market. There are a bunch of stocks that are pretty much mixed into the S&P or the NASDAQ, and they go up when the market goes up. So that's why, that's where people should invest first. And then with additional money, if they wanted to buy stocks, they wanted to trade, they wanted to take higher risk, do it with additional money. You got your savings account, you got no debt, you got index funds or whatever, and then you want to play with other stuff, because then if you lose that stuff, you still got your steady job, no debt, savings, and etc. So as you get older, you realize when it's time to buy, it's all about risk mitigation. It's all about having positive cash flow, limited expenses, and taking calculated risk. The problem is when we buy in a rush, we're already in financial ruin, we're scared, we're making rash decisions, we don't calculate all the cost, and we think we're going to miss out, and then we pretty much put the nail in our coffin. But I don't want to discourage people if they're in that boat, because I've been in that boat, okay? And I don't want to discourage anyone unemployed. I don't want to discourage anyone in bad times. Why? Because, guys, it's part of life. We all live that life, Whether, again, you're dating a stripper and it falls out, you're dating a school teacher, because I'll tell you right now, I dated strippers, school teachers, nurses, and stewardess. And, guys, at the end of the day, we're all strippers. Never forget it. Coincidence. Did you make up your mind yet? Are you going to buy a new car or RV lot? I haven't, man. I almost debate every day. Every day I look at Realtor.com to see what home bases I could buy, and there's low inventory. There's nothing. Nothing. I think about the car. I want to get a hybrid or electric if I'm going to Nomad. There's only the RAV4, and it's not a plug-in. There's no primes. And the Priuses, the Prius Prime, they don't have sunroofs. And like I say, if I get an RV lot, I'll probably get a Kia Soul. Why? No need to have a hybrid or electric vehicle if I'm going to have an RV lot. So we'll see, though. I haven't decided. So when in doubt, I don't buy. I try to remember that. But I probably missed out on some opportunities, because there's some piece of property, some things, if I would have bought, they would have went up in value. But I got to be honest, I just wasn't ready. If you ask me, am I more ready today than I was 2 years ago? Yes. Because now I've fully been in Florida. However, most of society is more ready now too. And that's why house prices are up. So, and that's why everything's up. RVs, everything. So we'll see. Coconuts. Did you ever think about just staying in Florida, or will you keep coming back up north in the summer? Good question, Coconuts. I think as long as my mom's alive, I'm definitely going to come back up north. I don't know if it's going to be in the summer. It'll probably be in the fall, September and October. Why? Because I hate the Jersey Shore in the summer. Okay. And I have to be by the beach, and I'm going to go see my mom. And I hate the Jersey Shore in the summer. Even during the coronavirus this past year, and most of New Jersey was on a lockdown, the Jersey Shore was a shit show. It's packed. The Starbucks low end. There's no Boca Ratons. There's no Palm Beaches. There's no even Vero beaches. There's no like open land. Everyone's in the small condensed area, and it's a disaster in my opinion. So, in my opinion, the best time to go see, the only time I'm going to go back up north is September and October. Unless, look, if there's a national emergency like last year and there's like total chaos, then look, I always hold the right to call an audible. But through the experiences I have now, and even this past year, and again, I want to remind everyone, we had a national lockdown, national emergency, and stock market's all-time high. No one would have thought that. Okay. Real estate all-time high. So everyone predicting the end times, and guys, I wouldn't even have said we're at. Okay, so I say it too myself. But the bottom line is, yeah, will I go back up north? Probably September, October, unless there's an emergency. Because I enjoy Florida even in hurricane season, and most of the hurricanes don't take place until the end of August till the middle of October. 80% of hurricanes take place between end of August to the middle of October. The issue I face, okay, is in the summer, whether I'm in Florida or even in Jersey, and I plan to be in Florida this summer, is I need air conditioning. Okay, so the issue becomes, am I going to try to stick an air conditioning out my Jeep Renegade and go to a campground and run extension cord? Am I going to have a hybrid and stealth camp and let it run every hour to recharge the batteries? Am I going to have an electric and be stealth camping at a charging station, or am I going to have an RV lot and be doing a live feed with my robe on, okay, with a MILF in the back room? We're going to find out. Okay. If you had to be a betting person, bet that I will do nothing. Why? That's been my track record. Okay. However, just know that eventually I'm going to do something. Okay. I just don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, especially with low inventory, high prices. But every day I can get through with no mortgage, it's good. But no, I won't say at this point. Well, let me pause a little bit. At this point, look, guys, I already know I have a certain budget for each month that I try to stick to, as long as it's not an emergency. So if I added a home base or added whatever, even if I added a mortgage, or it's not going to change, because I'm talking about you only buy when you buy within your budget and in your means. So if I buy something, it's going to pretty much keep my budget the same. So I'll allocate $500 less to gas and food. I'll be cooking home more, and that extra $500 will go towards home-based stuff. And so my goal is to always keep my budget under $2,000 a month. Now, it won't happen every month because you'll have an emergency. You'll need contact lenses. You'll have a car issue. You'll have to buy something new, whatever. So, but my goal at this point in my life, okay, because I believe if you want to live the simple life, whether you're retired, unemployed, or you just got done dating a stripper and she took you for everything you got, I think you want to keep your expenses, including your house, including your food, including $2,000 and under a month. Now, on average, if you want to have fun, you want to spend more, do you? Okay. But for the average person, for the average expense, $2,000 or less per month, everything included. That's your rent, that's your mortgage, whatever you have, your taxes, averaged out. Like Big Plan Dan said last night, he paid off his mortgage, praise the Lord. But like I told you, if he's got $4,000 a year in property tax, that equates to $333 a month. That never goes away, it only goes up. That doesn't include his electric bill, doesn't include his water, his sewer tax, any maintenance. So if Big Plan Dan, even if he has no mortgage, that's at least $500, at least for monthly housing expense. So then he's probably got about $800 worth of food. That's $1,300. Even if he's got his car paid off, he's probably got about $100 or so worth of car insurance. That's $1,400. Okay. Then maybe he's got Medicare, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he has to pay the supplemental Medicare, the extra 20%, is another $100. That's $1,500. Okay. A cell phone bill, that's $1,600. And if he buys anything, extra, again, eye contact solution, baby powder, lotion, you go to the Dollar Tree, you put $20 worth of shit that you don't need. Why do you overbuy at the Dollar Tree? Because it's low risk. See, you can buy more stuff when it's low risk. I don't think, like, there's a saying out there, like, don't buy Starbucks, don't buy this, that, and you'll always be rich. Now, guys, you got to have a certain amount of income, okay? And then you got to just know your budget. You could buy Starbucks every day, okay? But, obviously, it's all relative. Like, are you going to Starbucks, you spend $20 a day, you spend $10, you spend $5. You got to know your numbers, okay? You got to know the lifestyle you want to live. And if you can keep your expenses, everything included, $2,000 or below, I think most people will do good. Because if you're making $15 an hour, that's $2,000 a month. If your average Social Security, $1,500 a month. Now, Milano, he's a viewer of mine. He lives in his Class C down in Miami in a free public park. And he lives on Social Security, $1,500 a month. And he's got a side hustle. I think he does some deliveries. Like I always tell you, you can collect Social Security and do side hustles. Okay. Depending on your age. How? MILF in the back room, you know what it is. I like that. You got to be able to laugh. Okay. And you got to be able to enjoy yourself. And I have to pull back a little bit. You know, some of my videos are very intense, especially my live feeds, especially this past year, because you had to be intense to get through 2020. Now, if you weren't intense, you bought a house rushing. And even if it's appreciating value, I think if you buy anything rushing, you regret it, whether it's stock, which I've done, or a house or a car. If you rush, you regret. However, if you wait forever, you miss out. And that's me. I'll take my hits. So there's no perfect answer. I want to be fair. Okay. And I got to be honest again. I think I'm probably living too damn cheap. I think I'm probably, at this point, hurting myself more than helping. I am ready to buy. However, it's the wrong time to buy. There's nothing I like on the market. There's nothing I like on the market. So let's just stop there. Even if something was overpriced, I have to like it. So I will say this. A month and a half ago, there was something I liked on the market. I waited a week and I lost a deal. If I would have been quicker, and if we would have came to terms, no guarantee, I would be in a home base right now. Okay. So what I've experienced in looking in the housing market is about once or twice a year, you get an opportunity. Just like, in the stock market, I tell you, every year, I remember this from my past experience in life. Every year, you're going to get at least one or two opportunities where the stock market dips down 7-10%. Okay. Now, this year was very extreme. This year won't happen every year where it dips down 40% in 4 weeks. But every year, just about in my lifetime that I can remember, the stock market dips at some point between 5 to 10% negative. Okay. Every year. And every year, there's at least one or two housing options. Okay. But it's being patient and getting a little lucky and hitting at the right time. Timing is everything. Back to live comments. Kathy, good to see you. We'll get to you. Let me go to my man, Big Plan Dan. As for investing in real estate, study inventories. Inventory is very low. Prices go down when inventories are high. I agree with that. The best time to buy might be when the inventory has hit its high point and supply begins to go downwards. No, logically, you're right, brother. The problem is, I remember 2008 and 9, when inventory was high, prices were low, no one had money. Including me. I didn't have enough money I think I was still underwater on my mortgage. Guys and girls, I had a mortgage on my house the whole time I had my house. And during the housing crisis of 2000, let's just say 7 through 2012, somewhere in that range, I had negative equity in my house. I couldn't sell my house I would have had to pay money to sell my house. Some people don't even remember that. People that are just becoming mature and just getting of age, 18 and older, and that have maybe only owned a house for a couple years, they are being told the same thing I was told in 2004, that house prices always go up. My mom told me that. My pastor told me, you can take out a home equity loan. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a great deal. Now, look, I don't think we'll experience 2008 again. Why? Because I think the Federal Reserve position is different. I think a lot of people have money in savings. A lot. Not everyone, so don't be hurt if you have none. But I think what we're up against is inflation. And what we're up against is your money in your savings account may lose value by doing nothing. However, if you take your money out of your savings account and you rush to buy stocks or real estate, the Federal Reserve may higher the interest rate because inflation goes too high. Then prices go down, but then you rushed. But there's no telling when the Federal Reserve do that. The Federal Reserve giveth and the Federal Reserve taketh away. So know your budget, know your age, and live your life, because never a perfect time. It's true. But there is a better time. That's true too. Kathy, I'm probably not going to buy a house now since future holds so much uncertainty. Kathy, imagine we were sitting here a year ago, and I do a live feed every night for 4 years. Okay. So last year, you could have caught me on a live feed in 2019 in December, and I would have told you next year is going to be a global pandemic. Stock market's going to go down 40% in 4 weeks. The president is going to get a deadly virus. We're going to have a national riots. What would you say the state of the economy would be at the end of the year? I mean, if that's not uncertainty, and even with all that uncertainty, stock market, all-time house, actually, it's more certain now than it was in the beginning of the year. But I totally empathize with what you're saying, Kathy, and I don't think you're wrong. When in doubt, don't buy. But it's like an ironic thing if you think about it, right? Hal, I got my car payment down to $244. That's cheap. From $385. Good job. Trying to cut all my corners. I've been there, been exactly where you're at. Cell phone bill down to $75. There you go. I'm going to, see, that. Oh, let me continue. He goes, I'm going into 2020 debt-free besides my car note. Hal, you got it made. One is good job, brother. You're learning budgeting. You're learning negotiation. And it's good to learn to live on less. And obviously, your next step will be to increase your income. But I've been exactly where you're at. And I know who you are and your mindset. I think you're going to do great. And here's the key. Brother, you don't have debt. Like I said, you don't have kids. Your whole world is in front of you, man. You can be whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. It's all mental now, man. So, Hal, like I said, your future is bright, man. Very bright. You're going to do great. All right, let's take a hydration break, man. Shout out to everyone out there, man. Yeah, look, it is the wrong time to buy. However, last year was the right time to buy. Did anyone think that? I didn't think that. So, I don't know. Let's take a hydration break. So, do I recommend you buy the index fund when the Dow is at 30,000? I don't want to give you that advice because I don't, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. I want you to do like Hal's doing. I want you to look at your budget. I want you to try to always keep your budget below $2,000 a month in expenses. If you want. Again, do your life. These are my opinions. I want you to only buy a house in an area that inspires you. And there's nothing wrong with renting or nomading. I want you to only buy stuff that has a practical use in your life and or has an extreme emotional value with regards to inspiration. But be careful not to blindly follow emotion. You got to have some balance. Big Plan Dan. I agree, Kathy. You have to wonder, how long is this market can sustain itself? That's true. Too many have lost jobs. That is true. That's a big thing. And businesses. Making an investment now is taking a big chance. Look, it's all fair points. I can't disagree with them. But like I say, it's like, if unemployment stays low, you know what's going to happen? The Federal Reserve is going to go to negative interest rates. That means that money you have in a savings account, you're going to have to pay the bank money. So what is that going to cause people to do? Take money out of their savings account and buy houses or buy assets. And that's stocks, that's houses, that's RVs. That means more inflation. So if it really gets worse, that's the next trick up the Federal Reserve's. Germany already does it. Japan does it. They have negative interest rates, meaning that they penalize people for having money in the bank account. They want you to spend it so you spur economic activity. Guys, the Federal Reserve, they hold the keys to everything, man. So, I don't know, man. All I can tell you is if you got a house that you like in an area you like, don't sell it. Why? That's what you like. As long as it's below your means, okay? Or at least at your means. Hal says that's crazy. Oh, yeah. World economics are crazy. However, as crazy as they are, the Federal Reserve is a blessing. Why? Because if it was 1920, we would all be pretty much farmers, or we would, after the Great Depression in 1929 in the United States of America, the government had to spend money on infrastructure projects. Most of the state parks in America were built after the Great Depression in the 1930s to stimulate jobs and to stimulate activity. Look at it. The Golden Gate Bridge was a project funded by the government to create jobs. People migrated. They left their state. They migrated to San Francisco. They had encampments under the bridge waiting for workers to die so they can take their jobs because people were that desperate for jobs. Right now, if you're one of the unemployed, you're getting unemployment insurance. You're probably going to get another stimulus package in Q1, more inflation. You're watching me on a live feed. You're chilling. So we're blessed. As bad as 2020 and as high as inflation is right now, it's a better time to buy now than it was 100 years ago. It's true. Me playing Dan. Hey, Sam. It's great to see your energy way up. Thank you, man. I appreciate your support. It seemed like your tail was wagging the dog a bit last week. Well, I try to be honest with you guys. And I'm not going to do videos happy if I'm upset. And I did get a little bit rough last week, because sometimes I get intense. And I understand that that's off-putting to some people. And when I'm considering a level of humor, some people are getting offended. And then one of my viewers, one of my members got offended, said some shit. And then I lashed back out. And I have to deal as a YouTube creator, and as a person sharing their life in public, I'm getting financially rewarded for it, so I'm willing to do it. But I'm really not a public person, and I got to deal with a lot of comments that you guys don't see. And that wears on you, But I try to mature from each experience, but I'm still share though. Because to me, that's what makes my channel. I don't have as many views as many people, but what I have is the real deal as far as I share who I am, okay? The good, the bad, the happy, the depressed, the living in the car, the shopping for home bases, and that's what, that's the real deal for me. Now, some people like it, some people don't, but I pretty much have decided that I will evolve my channel because I evolve. So I can't say what my channel will be forever. But, look, if I have a disagreement with a viewer, or if I have a bad week, I can't come on here and give you a fake show. Now, at my job, I can't do that because, so even though you can say this is a side job, that's true because there's money exchange. I look at it as a creative venture, meaning that I'm pretty much painting my canvas. And if I make money, great. If I don't, then I'll decide if I want to shut it down. So, but I really don't want to sit here and fake it just to pacify some people that aren't doing the work of their life. However, I don't know if me being me is going to be good enough to, it has been good enough to grow the channel so far. And based on the metrics I look at, and the bottom line metrics I look at, I like to see subscribers go up. Yeah, I like to see views go up. The bottom line, I look at the revenue. Okay, how much do I get direct deposits once a month? Okay, and if that revenue goes up, I say, well, we're going live tonight, motherfucker. And if that revenue go down far enough, I say, well, shit, I can spend my time doing DoorDash. Okay, so that's a constant evaluation. But I tell you guys right now, if YouTube says we are stopping monetizing any channel under a million subscribers, I'll say, nice meeting you. I'm deleting all my shit. I have my man Internally Inspired say, Sam, are you backing up all your videos on? I'm telling him, brother, if my shit goes down, I'm not restarting this motherfucker. I'm out, man. It was good while it lasted. Because, guys, you only do this shit once, in my opinion. This was a shot in the dark. I did YouTube. I thought maybe it could work. I know I got a little bit of gift of gab. I know I had an interesting story. And I have experience through running a nonprofit, having a radio show that I paid for and I didn't get paid for, and doing a couple of things. I thought, well, maybe this will work for me. And I said, if it doesn't, fuck it. But I paid the price. I share my life publicly. I deal with the trolls. I deal with the good people that they get hurt when I say something that after a long day doesn't sit well with them, or I'm very intense that way. I was very intense last week, and it was off-putting to some people. I understand why. I'm not going to say like they're totally wrong for feeling that way. But this is my life, my channel. You don't like it? Put a dildo up your ass and go watch transgender porn. Why? Because, guys, I'm not talking directly to anyone. But if you take it as if I'm talking to you directly, I understand. because I've been on the opposite side of YouTube. But I'm not Joel Osteen. You know, I don't know what to tell people. You know, sometimes people want me to read them a bedtime story. I got my man Antonio from Staten Island. I love this guy. Every day he says, Sam, I want you to do this video. I want you to do that video. I'd have got do videos about campgrounds. And they're like, I'm not Ralph McDaniels. This isn't Video Music Box. Who remembers Ralph McDaniels? Where they will call up Video Music Box and they request a video. Guys, this ain't video by request. You know? But look, guys, I mean, that's how I feel. Let's take out this. I'm getting upset. All right. Good comment, though, Dan. Yeah, that's why I was at. I'm just sharing, honestly. Now, I appreciate you guys watching, man. I'm grateful for all my members. You guys are the lifeblood channel, man. You say, Sam, what will you do if you're no members? Hey, guys, look. I want to tell all my members this right now. You don't owe me shit. If you don't like me, I will never be mad, and I will never tell you that you couldn't live without me. The membership is come as you want and leave as you want. There's no long-term commitment. You can cancel at any time, and I understand. And I've had people that canceled. Sometimes they rejoin, sometimes they don't. And I've never said anything negative about that. The only time I've come after someone is when they leave me this long-ass comment on why they're canceling or why they don't like me. Whoa. Guys and girls, I had some problems with some. See, not most, but I would say a lot of my problems are with some of the females. I had this one, again, mentally disturbed girl who had a son. She abandoned her son to live in her Jeep. And then she started trolling me because I talk about that mindset's a disgrace. She thought I was talking about her. I wasn't talking about her. And she felt guilty, so she thought like she was going to meet me on the road. I was going to like her midget ass, and I was going to fall in love with someone who's totally mentally disturbed. She was out of her fucking mind, okay? I ain't going to fall in love with her. Let me tell you something. My standard's way higher than that, okay? And then I got other old women, okay, that they think, you know, like I'm watching stepmom porn, and I'm thinking about them like, guys, I love my mom. They think that they're going to be my mom, that I'm going to go visit them if there's a national emergency. They hate their son. Their son is a low performer. I'm a high performer. So they look at me like as their son and as their possible like boy toy. And then they realize that you don't run my shit. I'm not your son. Okay, and I damn sure ain't your boy toy. Okay. So see, like they can't handle that. Okay, because it gets too real. And then you say, well, how we get here? Guys, this is how we get here. Okay, because people start to project their life on me. When I tell everyone up front, I'm a loner, I don't want to hurt you. I preach nothing. You know, even if people, they don't like how I talk too wild, too much. I preach nothing but healthy living. Self-care, no drugs, keep a steady job, do side hustles. You know, but I talk rough, and I talk like I just talked. And you know who can handle that? Not too many people want to talk about that. So, and I don't blame them. But I'll tell you this, guys, there's a reason I'm living in my car. So I don't have to answer to too many people, okay? I got to answer some people because no one's above life. And I could be humbled like this. I don't think I'm God. I don't think I can because I've been humbled. And I still get humbled because we're human. I still have to say I was a little bit too rough there. But, I mean, look, I also know my message overall is very wholesome, okay? I'm talking about very good stuff, okay? And if someone wants to project their nasty life on me, I tell you right now, guys, you're barking up the wrong channel. Because what I can tell you is this, guys, I'm not committed to anyone or anything. I'm trying to get through each day until I'm out of this fucking earth. Because, guys, I'm not one of these psychopaths that wants to, like, freeze my body and live to 100. When I lost 200 pounds, people told me, Sam, you just added 10 years to your life. I said, oh, shit. Now, I don't want to die. If I get shot right now and I start to bleed, guys, I'll be scared. I was scared when I went to the emergency room. So, but I'll tell you this, guys. I'm not in love with this earth. I'm very thankful for this, you know, for the things. I'm thankful for a first world country. I'm blessed. I'm thankful for my job, for people who support me. But guys, for me, I just try and get through each day and live my day to the max. Okay. Now, if I could buy a house and that adds a little bit of value, that's great. If I can get some extra on some stocks or some side hustle, wonderful. I like that. I get passionate. Okay. Because there's nothing that excites me like the money bag, guys. You say, I got this beautiful girl I want you to meet. I said, well, put her to the side. Show me the money bag. You say that's wrong. Greed is a sin. Well, I'll tell you this, laziness is a sin. I'll tell you this, gluttony is a sin. How many people ate Chick-fil-A tonight? Okay. How many people ain't going to wake up early tomorrow? You're sinners. Okay. So let me tell you this, guys. I'm Scrooge McDuck. Okay. I'm swimming in a pot of gold. Okay. And by myself. Okay. Because I ain't splitting the bag. That's true. I ain't splitting the bag. You say you're going to die alone. Well, guys, guess what? I know married people, they died alone. Okay. Guys, I'm just living my life. Okay. How I want to live. Okay. I loved one person, my dog. She's dead. Okay. Do I love anyone? I love everyone, but guys, I'm not going to be someone's service dog. Okay. I had some mentally disturbed people. They look at me like they're service dog. Guys, I'm not your service dog. Okay. And I don't even think you should have a service dog because you can't take care of yourself. That's true. They got 2 dogs and no job. I don't understand how. They got it. 1 dog, maybe I can understand, not 2. And that's why there's shit everywhere. But who am I to judge? Okay. But in life, these are my thoughts. Okay. And so good questions. All right, guys and girls. I hope my message helped you tonight in some way. If it didn't, nothing I can do about it. Why? I can't save everyone. If it did help you, well, I appreciate your love and support. And bottom line is, live your best life. Why? Every day we're closer to death. And I don't know. Some people say when you die, you're in a better place. Well, then you're in a worse place right now. So make the most of it. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace. ESP, good night. Keep doing what you do. Damn it, ESP. You damn right. Thank you, ESP. Let them all burn in their own soul. But let's pray for everyone. Yeah, Big Plan Dan, hit that like button for this guy. Damn it. I appreciate it. Hey, and Coconuts, if you still watch this, don't you start asking people what their Instagram is when I end the live feed, man. I'm watching you, man, out there in Manhattan, trying to get with everyone.